are the 14th Annual Sport Horse Nationals here at beautiful Ford Idaho Horse Park in Nampa, Idaho. Everyone is set up and ready to show. The weather is beautiful and classes are going great. The exhibitors even had time to party where a potato bar was served and games are played. Sport Horse Nationals has a lot of different meanings for different exhibitors. Some come to show for the roses, some for the memories, and one barn, Shaw Wen, is here to live out a legacy. Wendy, the owner of Shaw Wen, has a very special horse in her barn. Lil was a horse specially picked out for Merlin, who was terminally ill and since passed away. Lil and Merlin has a special bond, and we just know she is here cheering on Lil at Sport Horse. Not only is Lil a special horse, but Lil gets a special rider all the way from Australia. Jenny hails from down under and has just come to the U.S., and this is her very first Sport Horse Nationals.
My name is Wendy Jewel Onstott. We've had Shaw Wen Training Center since 1966. We've been in the breed since 1966, myself and my family. This is Jenny Fairweather. She's from Australia. She just moved here to the United States. And this is Tamar Diamond Lil. And she's here at Sport Horse Nationals mostly because of Jenny. Because Jenny, I barely met her in May, and she rode Little for me. We call her Little, like in not very big. And she rode Little for me at a qualifying show there in Utah where we live, and qualified her. And so Jenny's going to show her for me at the Sport Horse Nationals this year in Nampa 2016. Little came to be because I had a client named Merlin Olson who was about this tall. I'm 5 feet tall, so Merlin Olson was probably about 4'8", 9", something like that. She was elderly and very, very ill. Little always took care of her like she was her baby. She would stand completely stock still at the mounting block until we got Merlin on the horse, which took 3 people because she was in so much pain and it was hard for her to get on. And she would not walk away from the mounting block until I physically led her away from the mounting block. And then she would go into the ring and pack Merlin around in the walk and the jog and the reverse, right into the winner's circle until the year Merlin died, which was 2014. And then I inherited Little from Merlin when she died. Jenny showed up and rode Little for me in the qualifying classes for this year for Sport Horse. And that was super lucky because I would have never brought Little to the Sport Horse. I don't show my own horses. But Jenny rides her so beautifully, and it was such a cute combination that I went ahead and brought her to Sport Horse, and Jenny agreed to ride her for me.
When I first came over, I didn't know too many people in the area, and I didn't have my horses, and I was missing them. So I came across Wendy when there was a small show on, a fun show, I think it was, Wendy, in Salt Lake City. And I went to help and volunteer just to be around the horses. And fortunately for me, meeting Wendy, she invited me out to ride Little, and being horse crazy and starved of the horses, of course I was there. So I had a first few rides on her, and she is not easy at all. She's sweet as can be on the ground, and you can do anything with her, and she's quiet, and you can take her anywhere. But to get her to work, you have to ride every step, every step. And she's got the education. She knows what to do, but you've really got to make her give it. So, but I've had a ball with her. So this is my purebred mare. Her registered name's Jensen Susie Q. Barn name is Lily. And she arrived from Australia in April of this year. I bred her back home. I've only been here, not quite 12 months myself. And so I bred her back home in Australia, and I still own a share in her sire, a big black stallion by the name of Bagheera, and he'll remain in Australia. But I bought this horse with me when I moved because she is my once-in-a-lifetime horse. She's only had, this is her 3rd show here in the US. and only her second show under saddle. And I was very fortunate that she qualified for the Sport Horse Nationals at Region 6 Championships, which was her first outing under saddle. And she picked up 2 champions in hand there, and 2 champions and 1 reserve champion under saddle. So I'm very fortunate to have her here. This is my first time showing at Sport Horse Nationals, and certainly my biggest show that I've ever attended. I did show her in hand back in Australia, and she did reasonably well back there. I'm very pleased to find the sport horse community here because the Arabian main ring disciplines are very different to how we ride back in Australia, and the sport horse disciplines are more similar to what we ride back in Australia. So it was very comforting to find a couple of disciplines and the community that I'm a little bit more familiar with. And it certainly suits this girl with her temperament because she's quite a laid-back horse. And certainly the sport horse in hand suits her temperament because she hasn't got a lot of snort and blow for the main ring. So it's certainly going to be an exciting experience for us. She's had a bit of a look around the grounds today, and I'll start to get her ready soon. She'll be braided and washed and clipped up, and she tends to take it all in her stride, which I'm really fortunate about. Makes it she's an easy horse to have, and the fact that I've bred her and I've done all her training myself. I have had a couple of lessons both in hand and under saddle with her, which has helped enormously, but to have bred her myself and trained her, every day she's an absolute joy, and I love her to bits. And there was no way I could have left her behind in Australia because I just couldn't replace her. I couldn't replace her breeding, I couldn't replace her temperament, and she's a quality mare, so she had to come with me. It was the only choice. So it was well worth the expense and the effort of the long flight for her, but true to her temperament, she took all that in her stride as well, and she arrived in beautiful shape. And she flew with IRT, International Racehorse Transport, and they did a wonderful job with her. And I'm just over the moon to have her here at my first Nationals and her second show under saddle, so I'm very excited.
Good luck to all the exhibitors this week, and we'll see you tomorrow.